Amit and I have a New Year's resolution that we wanted to share with all of you. It's more of his New Year's resolution, and he's going to drag me along for the ride. But we want to start a vlog, so once a week we're going to try to put out a vlog for you guys. We'd love if you'd follow along, ask us questions, tell us what you think. But yeah, we're going to try to do this once a week, and we'll see if we can come up with enough interesting stuff to share with you. Tonight I got inspired. I wish I got inspired last night because I looked a lot better than right now. Kinsey did my hair and my makeup and we're all dressed up. But I think this is a better way to start off this vlog. Very real, very vulnerable, because that's the whole point. We want to invite you guys into our story. And so why not do it in our pajamas when we have blaring headaches and haven't done anything to our hair or makeup today. So it seemed very appropriate to start this way. We're going to start, got actually inspired by this book. It's called Uninvited. The author is Lisa Tierkhurst. I could totally be saying that wrong. My best friend got it for me for my birthday, and I've been putting off reading it because I knew it was going to be convicting. And I started tonight, and I just wanted to share part of chapter 3 with you guys because it's a huge theme that we're taking on in 2017 and something we wanted to share with you. Okay, so this is the beginning of chapter 3 in this book, Uninvited. There's a lady at the gym who hates me. No, I'm serious. She sees me coming and I can feel little puffs of disdain chugging out of her ears as her feet are churning 87 miles per hour on her elliptical machine. I honestly don't know how she goes that fast. I once tried to keep up with her. It was awful. And I think that was the day her infuriation with me began. Let me back up and confess my sins that started this whole thing. The elliptical machines are set up very close together and are completely awkward with their angular moving parts. Think of it as a New York high-rise and an elephant having a baby. That's an elliptical machine. Now, conjure up a picture in your mind of the most athletic person you know, the one who doesn't have a drop of fat on their entire body, not even on their belly button, which should be illegal. Okay, do you have that person in your mind? Okay. Honestly, she's also stunning, which is making the whole thing more complicated. Then, picture a marshmallow dressed in a t-shirt and spandex pants. Her ponytail is rather tight, but not much else. That's me. Hello, world. So I had to sort of kind of get in her face just a tad to mount my machine, and I think it threw her off her rhythm. That was sin number 1. And then I decided to try to stay in sync with her because I wanted to teach all the folks at the gym that day that though my legs might not look like it, I am in shape. My heart can pump with the best of them, and by golly, I was tired of being out ellipticaled by her. That was sin number 2. And then there may have been a little issue with me taking a phone call while working out. In my defense, this is not my common practice, but a friend called who really needed me. I realize now I should have stepped off my machine and taken the call elsewhere, but I was sort of in a competition at this point and needed to win this thing on behalf of every other marshmallow-feeling woman. I tried to chat quietly, but when you feel like a lung might very well pop out of your mouth at any minute, it's difficult to whisper talk. That was sin number 3. 3 strikes, and she deemed me out of my mind, out of line, out of control. She abandoned her elliptical and huffed over to the treadmill, and she's hated me ever since. But then the other day something occurred, something odd that stunned me. She smiled at me. It wasn't an evil, I'm about to whip your tail out of the gym floor kind of smile. It was more of like, hey, I've seen you before, right? I thought about her expression the entire time on the elliptical that morning. I analyzed it up one side and down the other. Was it just a stunned reaction kind of thing where she felt forced to smile because she couldn't quite figure out what else to do? Or was it, I think we could be friends? Or was it a truce of some sort? I've decided it wasn't any of these. I truly believed it was a simple smile acknowledging that she'd seen me but had none of this crazy hate toward me at all. It had all been perception on my part. Let me rewrite the story as I now believe it to actually be. There's a lady at the gym who really enjoys her workouts. One day, the gal next to her talked on the phone, so instead of making a big deal out of it, she transitioned over to the treadmill. She really hadn't thought of it much since. And then one day, she saw this same woman in the bathroom and smiled and thought, good for you for getting up this morning and working out. End of story. So we're going to talk about perception a little bit. Your mind is a crazy powerful thing, and I think a lot of you can relate to this. It can be something you battle with. I am very pessimistic and I overthink and analyze everything, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So my mind is something I'm always at odds with, and this little story in chapter 3 really hit me, just thinking deeper about perception and how we take what's happening all around us and really make consequences that don't even exist. And this is something I really struggle with, especially in the line of work that we do. So 2017, one of my goals is to not turn everything into a doomsday story, is to not make everything personal. I'm very defensive, but that's because I think everyone's always attacking me. So when she shared this story about being on the treadmill, she was able to imagine up all of these things that this lady next to her thought about her, felt about her, and then it stuck, and it actually created a barrier between her and this lady and the potential for them to make relationship. And that's something that I know is a huge barrier in my life. And just as we've come up upon 2017, I've really been praying about, okay, God, what does 2017 hold for us? And he keeps saying community, 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 community. And community scares me because it means fighting my perception more than I usually do. It means not taking everything maybe as personally or as to my heart as I do, and fighting for the positivity like she did. And that example of going back and retelling the story in a positive light and sharing it in a way that wasn't hateful, like she said, really impacted me. So I hope that we can all start off 2017 believing the best in people, hoping for the best in people, and fighting for positive thoughts.